Hey everybody, let's talk about the 2008 market versus the 2018 market. Okay everybody, so once upon a time in America, about 2005, the mortgage world looked a little something like this. Since the market had been steadily increasing since about 1996 and home values kept going up and up and up, nobody ever thought that the market would experience a correction. Home values just kept increasing year after year since about 1996. So mortgage lenders got really creative in, being able to come up with options for more people than ever to have the chance at home ownership. And if the lenders and buyers were not successful, no worries. Even if the home and the buyers had to be foreclosed upon, banks wouldn't lose money. They would just sell the house to someone new. So that's the type of environment that the mortgage world was in back in 2005. So as a result of that, there was some pretty interesting loan types out there. The first one is no doc loans. So no documentation needed. All you need to do is tell us where you work and how much money you make, and we'll use that number. We'll just round up. And then there's the low FICO score loans. So if you have a FICO score of 560 or 580, no worries. Yes, you'll pay a higher interest rate, not right away. You'll have 2 years to sort it out, but then after that, we'll adjust the rate, potentially by a lot. Or you have no money down loans. So no money, no problem. We'll just do an 80% first mortgage with an adjustable rate mortgage at 6.5%. Then we'll do a 20% second mortgage and an adjustable rate mortgage of 11%. So after 2 years, we'll of course adjust the rate, potentially by a lot, but you can own a home with no money down. And then you have the negative amortization loans. So this loan actually put Countrywide Home Loans out of business because they loved it so much. Basically, homeowners had 4 different options on how to pay their mortgage. They could pay the 15-year payment, the 30-year payment, the interest-only payment, or the minimum payment. So when they paid the minimum payment all the time, it actually increased the balance of their mortgage over time. So which option do you think the average American chose? These are just some of the reasons why, when a correction happened in 2007 and 2008 with the recession, that many homeowners didn't have any equity in their homes. They quickly became upside down with what they owed on their home and what the home was actually worth. That alone is not what causes the huge housing bubble burst that we saw. It was that, plus the huge amount of adjustable rate mortgages that experienced rate and payment increases after the first 2 years of steady payments. So once the payments jumped to a higher interest rate and the values decreased, the combination of the two was enough to make people opt to stop making their mortgage payment. And of course, that's never a good option, but with many Americans experiencing job layoffs at the time, people were forced to make the decision whether they feed their families or make their mortgage payment. So, how is that different now? I mean, the housing frenzy is certainly causing a shortage and an increase in prices. So how is it different now than in 2008? Since the housing crash, the government created a very important committee. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau stepped in right away to regulate banks and mortgage companies and to help protect and educate the consumer. So now, before you can sign for your house, you have to see the final closing documents 3 days before that. That way you're getting all the final details on the mortgage you are receiving. And additionally, there's no more no document loans, no more stated income loans, no more loans for FICO scores under 600, unless of course there's a compensation that can negate that risk. There's no more negative amortization loans. There's very few interest-only loans, and generally speaking, the underwriting guidelines are more uniform and strict across the board. So this is not the wild, wild west of 2005 through 2007. The mortgage industry is very heavily regulated and tasked with the responsibility of determining whether a borrower can successfully make their mortgage payment. So with that, the consumer has a responsibility to make sure that they're not making poor financial decisions. In Utah, we are very fortunate to have the lowest unemployment rate in the entire country. We also have very low vacancy rates for renting and an extremely low inventory for homes available for purchase. So this will make home ownership continue to be very necessary and important. Will there be corrections where prices drop from year to year? Yes, that will definitely happen. But if you buy a home that you can live in comfortably for 5 to 7 years, odds are that you could time any corrections in a way that you will still find home ownership to be a great decision and investment. So I hope that gives a little insight between the differences in 2008 and what's currently happening in 2018. If you want to continue the discussion, definitely feel free to leave any comments down below. And thank you so much for tuning in. I love being a resource for you. So if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. And thanks again. We'll see you soon. Bye.